This is WBRZ News to Louisiana.
Inside a nasty hoard where a man lived who's charged with child porn. Good evening. Neighbors complained for years about that house in South Baton Rouge.
And finally, it will be knocked down. Just one station went inside before it's gone. David Burke lived there in filth until he was nabbed on 100 counts of child pornography. News 2's Rosa Flores is live with more on what the inside of that house looks like.
So, Michael, let me tell you something. The pile of stuff that you see behind me is nothing compared to what's inside. A hoarder's paradise.
These look like comic books, huh?
Is a DPW nightmare.
And look, we have a spiral staircase.
Bob Hearn from the Department of Public Works gave us a walkthrough of this house in Baton Rouge ahead of its demolition.
Well, this is not a safe place to be. That's the reason that we've gone through the process.
The place belongs to David Burke. He's in prison on 100 counts of child pornography. All the piles of trash and boxes and the mildew are deemed a hazard.
The house itself is a hazard, and the contents in it would also be considered hazardous. That's the reason that we've gone through the procedures we have in the courts to have it adjudicated where it can be demolished.
Neighbors are happy the day has come.
It's nice to get it out of the neighborhood and get somebody in here that deserves this lot.
Animals and people have literally crawled over what looks like at least a foot of trash on the floor.
So this is the bedroom in the back of the house, Bob. Now this is a bit creepy based on what we know now because there's a lot of children's stuff. There's board games and things on the wall that would attract kids.
And kids of different ages. Everything from Sesame Street to New Kids on the Block.
It's probably been scattered quite a bit.
In the first floor of the living area, a book titled Edward Weston Nudes on the loft level.
But it's just more boxes, lots of trash, lots of newspaper. It looks like a computer desk.
Hearn will tell you, it's evident this house has been a hazard for a while. So why the holdup on the demolition? Utilities.
And the water, of course, and the electricity. All the utilities have to be turned off before you can demolish a house.
Wednesday, everything was turned off, except for the stench. That still lingers.
Now DPW tells us that the demolition will happen tomorrow at 10 o'clock. They say that they're going to be using the claw. The key, they tell me, is to use machinery and not to touch anything with a human hand. Reporting live in Baton Rouge, I'm Rosa Flores for WBRZ Balance News.
Okay, Rosa, thank you. Now, in Ascension Parish, a Wild West shootout and robberies on one street overnight. So far, no one busted. Deputies say someone robbed 6 people on Sammy Street. The crook fired shots as he ran away. No one was hurt. Killer Jodi Arias says she wants the death penalty.
She says she's overwhelmed by her guilty verdict she got today.
I would much rather die sooner than later.
Arias stabbed her ex-boyfriend Travis Alexander repeatedly, shot and nearly decapitated him 5 years ago in Phoenix, Arizona. She claimed it was self-defense.